Hello again, John Paul Academy RE. We're just delighted at how well you did your work on the Happy New Year project. By the way, I'm not too happy about this 2021, it's a bit of a tough guy. He turned round, I heard the story, he turned round at the bells and said to 2020, "You're history, mate." So I don't like that. So we're moving on to something nice called Saints and Heroes.
Hi everyone, Miss McGinley here. This week we are going to be moving on. We're going to free you up to do some active learning during your RE lessons. This will give you the opportunity to be a little more creative in the work that you're doing and to do some more independent research on someone that you find inspiring. This work will last for 4 lessons, which will be the next 2 weeks in total.
As you can see from this PowerPoint slide, we're looking for you to find out more about a saint. You might know about them already, or you might know nothing about them. So a saint, a really good, holy person. And also, as well as finding out about them, we want you to say what you can learn personally from that person.
So it will be up to you what format you would like to present your information on. You can use a variety of different apps using your iPad. You'll have access to Word, to PowerPoint. You could create your very own podcast. You might wish to create your own video or a TikTok for those of you that are that little bit more creative.
A first possibility is a young man called Carlo Acutis. He died sadly at 15, but he packed so much into his life. He just loved God and he felt that Jesus was with him every moment of his life, helping him. He was seemingly great at computing and he was great at writing software and he was helpful to everyone. And he helped the homeless and used his computing skills to set up a website about miracles round the Eucharist, as the Buenos Aires one that we saw. It's just everybody loved this young guy and he's a great role model.
So our next possibility is a young man called Marcus Rashford. Some of you may already have known him quite well for his footballing career. He currently plays for Manchester United, but last year he became what we could call a lockdown hero. He campaigned for free school meals for every pupil, every single child in England and the UK, so that they wouldn't go hungry. He's a young man that believes if we all work together, the world will be a better place, and he is someone that is very, very inspiring for all of us.
Macfarlane-Barrow is a top bloke. He's such a top bloke. He's come to John Paul Academy 3 times to speak to pupils and everyone loves him. He was in the pub with his brother and there was a programme on about people who were starving in Bosnia at the time, and he just didn't watch it. He decided to go and help them bring in clothing and medical supplies. And from then, he set up Mary's Meals, inspired by the love of Our Lady. Magnus Macfarlane-Barrow now ensures that over 1.5 million kids get to go to school around the world and get a meal to keep them alive.
Our 4th example of a great role model is Martin Luther King Jr., best known for being a civil rights campaigner in America during the 1950s and 1960s. Martin Luther King campaigned non-violently for change in America to stop segregation in the country, and because of his actions, the world that we live in is a better place, and we should all be inspired by the work that he was able to achieve. Before he became a politician, he was a Baptist minister, and all of the work that he achieved in his lifetime was inspired by his religious belief and his belief in God.
St Maximilian Kolbe in this list is someone you might not know, but what a man he was. He was a priest, he was very, very clever, and he actually gave his life in the concentration camp. Someone had tried to escape, the Germans were going to kill 10 people, they picked this man, and he said, "I'll never see my children again," and Maximilian Kolbe gave his life in his place. Another one that is really good is John Pridmore. John Pridmore was a big-time gangster in London, and he thought he was going to be charged with murder, and he kind of heard God speaking to him and changed his whole life.
Another name on this list that you might not be as familiar with is St Francis of Assisi. As a young man, St Francis was very rich and he was sheltered from the struggles of people around. St Francis had a great faith and was able to see God in everything and everyone. He especially had a love of nature and of animals, and is a very inspiring person. Here is a list of areas we would like you to cover in your report.
This slide is a roadmap of the process. Lesson 1, you want to look at a couple of people and make your decision about which one you're going to report on and how you're going to report back. At the start of lesson 2, your teacher will give you a call and you need your decision made then, because in lesson 2 and 3, you're going to be doing a lot of research. And by lesson 3 and into obviously lesson 4, you're going to be pulling it all together for your report and posting it back to your teacher.
Your teacher will be available for you during your RE class time. If you wish to ask any questions or if you're struggling with anything, we will be here. If you post it on the Teams chat, we will get back to you as soon as we can. Your task is for you to complete the research, so it's your responsibility to make sure that you pick a format that you're comfortable with submitting to your teacher when you're finished.
We want to wish you all the very best. We want you to produce something that you're proud of, that you could show to anyone as an example of good work. And we want it to be done in your RE time. We don't want it to be done in half your RE time, but we don't want it taking hours over and above your RE time.
The most important part of this activity is that you're able to explain what you've learned from your inspiring individual, your role model. What's the biggest thing that they can teach you and that you can learn from. Good luck, everyone, with your research, and we really hope that you enjoy this activity.
Hi, Miss McGinley. Do you have a joke to finish us up with? It'd be really good.
Unfortunately, I don't have any jokes, Mr. Kearney, but I do have a little man that has quite a good one, so I'll let him share it with you.
Okay, what does the cow say when it gets into bed?